Let me turn this down. Hello, thank you so much for stopping by today. But yeah, hello everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream today. You may know me, you may not know me. I live stream before and I also post on this platform. Usually shorts instead of long videos. But yeah, lately I've been getting off social media, I suppose. I haven't been posting the most. And I've been just kind of learning from other people on the platform, like other artists as well. So, I've been really learning about how to kind of post without draining yourself and whatnot. You showed up on my For You page. I thought I'd join. Thank you. But yeah, today's journey or today's subject, today's art piece is actually something that I have been doing since 2021, but I discontinued it since it was quite stressful because I don't know if you guys know about a manga artist, being a manga artist, especially if you're trying to make this into a career wise, it can be quite difficult because manga artists actually are like a lot under pressure. They're very much under pressure. You have to make art piece to a certain time limit, and then you know depending on the producer, like your boss, basically you're gonna have to be working literally like a dog. And so being a manga artist is not easy. So this was like my kind of a passion project. So yeah. And hello, whoa, okay, my program just decided to do a suicide. Anyway, I definitely don't. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I feel like as an artist, if you want to choose art as a career, it's not easy, but then again, nothing is easy. So why not choose art? Why not choose something that you love? You want to be a mangaka? Wait, that means you want to be a manga artist, I think? I love your art style though, not gonna lie. Thank you. And hello everyone. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by today. But yeah, I'm just gonna go through the process of how I draw my manga pages. And if you guys want to read my manga or like slash comic, if you would say, you can go to Webtoons. It's in the link down in the description down below. So it's free. It's totally free. It's not like in a copy or anything. I don't have it in a book form. You can't get it in no bookstore, but you can read it online. So you can go check it out. But if you find the art style like a little bit different, or probably like a very much a big difference, is because I made it back in 2021. So I was 13 in 2021. So art was still my passion, but I wasn't the best yet. I would still say I'm not the best right now, but I will say that I'm improving. And I'm sorry if I'm like really jittery. It's just I haven't live streamed in like so long. So like when you get used to live streaming, you kind of lose that jitteriness, and like you'd be less nervous. But like when you stop for a moment and you come back, then you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah. So if this is your first impression of me, it's not permanent, trust me. Anyway, okay. Oh, I'd be taking note now. Okay, thank you. Um, so I like to draw traditionally first, which you can see. This is actually my original art piece. This is like a paper art piece that I drew on my sketchbook. And then I would take a picture basically and then kind of draw over it digitally. So I do have a digital iPad, or digital pad if you'd say, and I like to just trace over my old artwork and then color in under it. Good luck to you. Thank you. Chat lagging. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's because of the video. The video lags a little bit. But yeah, the video lags a little bit, so it might look like it's lagging in the video, but I can actually see close to real time. So that's why the video, lags a little bit. Yeah, it delays a little bit. That is true. The chat in the video delays a little bit. But don't worry, I will be able to still see the chat. It won't delay like a lot, so if you like comment down below a message or something like that, it won't delay for like a year and I would have to wait another year to reply to you guys. So the tragedy about this is I actually did the line art already and I lost I was creating the thumbnail for the live stream and I have to start all over again because apparently it didn't save. I remember saving, but it didn't save. So here we go again. We're gonna do it all over again. So yeah, you're in for quite a treat. Now, I won't say this process is the most convenient or like the most fastest since it does take some time. Hello. If you guys are all new here, thank you so much for stopping by today. Really appreciate it. I don't know if you guys have this problem, but would you like speak so fast that you try to combine words together, like, and then it comes out like a new language and you're like, what the heck is happening? But yeah. I don't know. I think this year and last year was really about facing my fears of presentations in front of people or like in front of a group of people. Those were so scary. Yeah, I had to practice that because I had to practice basically explaining my art pieces, explaining, projects, and really just talking to people. Um, I'm not the most social person, I'm not going to lie, but when I like understand and I am in that environment more often, I would be more comfortable and I think I improve like that. You want to learn inking? You mean like traditional inking? I have never I never drew inking before. Like drew the method of inking, I guess. Yeah, inking. I think it's like very very like delicate work. Um and it's just it takes time. I'm just going to say that. But afterwards, like when I see other people inking, it's really satisfying because they are very intricate with each stroke on the paper, and I find that really amusing and really cool. I saw Junji Ito inking before, like his manga, and I thought that was so cool because if you see Junji Ito's work, he has like so many like tiny lines, and it's just like crazy to me about how they produce their manga art pieces. It's like really crazy work. Never heard of it. It sounds hard. Oh yeah, you can definitely search it up. It's not hard. It's not the most hardest, but it takes like patience. If you don't have patience for something, I guess I wouldn't really suggest working on that at first. But if you're into like story making or like manga, then I'd say give it a try. Hello. I wonder, has Miyazaki from Ghibli Studio, have they ever made manga before? I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Yeah.
They have?
Yeah.
Oh. I need to check that out. I guess I never seen the copies before.
most famous manga monthly magazine ever.
Oh, monthly magazine. Oh yeah, he used to make magazines. Yeah. Okay, I get it now. But like not manga artwork, but magazines.
Yeah, it was manga in
It
the
was oh, it
magazines.
was manga in
Very
the
short
magazines.
stories.
Okay. Okay. I did see them. They were in the museum once. I just didn't know what was in the magazines because they only show the covers. So, definitely needed to go back and see that. Maybe there's like a copy somewhere. But Miyazaki is retiring now, sadly. Will you be
95 years old.
Yeah, 95 years old. Will you be publishing your manga once you finish? So, publishing is a whole new thing. Publishing is actually not easy. Also, marketing is not easy, especially if you're new with like a new like manga and stuff.
Self-publishing on Webtoon.
Yeah, I'm self-publishing on Webtoons right now. Yeah. It started out from an idea for making like a storybook and then into like a comic like and then into manga because I was leaning into the style a little bit. It's not necessarily anime, but I really enjoy the art of manga. One moment.
Thank you, Angel.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, it's pretty active around me, around here. Yeah. Right now we're just doing the line art process. Actually, I don't think I should do this part first. I am going to now do the outline of the box. This is kind of a cheat code to do like a straight line, but I want it to look pretty good because it's pretty important with the outline. The thing about webtoons is that most of the format of the manga, or like their comics, if you'd say, are different. It's like more elongated if you would look, and it does look more elongated, but my manga doesn't look elongated. The format is elongated, so it's a little bit more tricky to balance. Storyboard and paneling. Yeah, definitely. Storyboards and paneling. I started off with basically what I do is I write down the storylines in like a Google Doc and whatnot, and then go off the story lines and like they are context, basically like a book in general, if you'd say, like just a book without pictures, but you making them into pictures and manga panels basically. So I do that instead. I like to write out the story first and then draw what the story would look like in that scene, like scenery of that certain few lines of the words that they're saying and the story basically. But if you do have like other ideas as well, if you do like to draw out a specific scenery of what it would look like, I definitely recommend like drawing your ideas down as like little doodles or like sketches, and then kind of making them more intricately. Okay. I'm gonna leave some space and then do the line art once more. Yeah, definitely. So, given that this is on your For You page, I think your For You page might have a lot of things about the keyword manga. Um, so happy you can see the process of how I draw. Just to put a disclaimer, how I draw is just what I'm comfortable with. I won't say I'm a professional at all. Given that I do not have like a publisher or anything like that, or like have been doing this for absolute years, then again, this is like a passion project. Yup. I would say though, about the art style, because then again, the art style is like everything, right? Like if you have one art style, then you're supposed to stick with that throughout the whole manga. But in my case, since I drew or started this from 2021, the art style does change a little bit, but I think it's changing in a good way because I'm learning from different techniques and artists and making things look more simplistic. Not saying that your art is going to be boring if it's simple, but more of to have that chance to make your characters more expressional and having like less is more, if that makes sense. Right here. You might use different styles for one of your stories. That's totally fine. That is totally fine. Because I think if you see Miyazaki's work, they kind of have like changes in their art styles a little bit as well. Just slightly though. Like two main ones. Okay, so like art style for one and the other, like different. They're different in general. The two art styles, or like the two main stories, are different art styles. Yeah. I kind of think that's a pretty good method as well, since as you can see, I have this art style. This is like, the more serious one. And then I have this art style where I kind of make things more lively and more fun. And I see artists do this quite a lot. And I thought it was like really fun and cool and kind of takes, the pressure off a little bit. It's like a little bit like doodling and you just kind of have fun with it. So, about all this manga talk, let's talk about what I'm drawing and what is the name of the manga that I'm drawing. So if you go to Webtoons, it's going to be called Yuki's Endless Void by Ettamadison. And basically, this story is about exploring mental health. It's kind of like a psychological horror in a way, if you'd say. And I added liminal spaces as an element, as one of the key elements. And I look forward to put more detail into the background, aka the liminal spaces, because I find liminal spaces really amusing, really nice, and horrific at times. So I like to put that in the key element in the psychological horror genre. Yuki is the main character, and the person that I'm drawing right now she's called Aoi. She is the main character's friend, I'd say. They have their own personalities. This one always more stubborn and strong-minded, and more intelligent than the main character. I'd like to give like a plot twist. There is a plot twist, actually. I like to do plot twists. But Aoi is actually made out of slime. She's a slime girl. Her hair is slime, at least. The reason that is because she's been in the liminal spaces, liminal space area for way too long. And she's just not human anymore. If you read the story, it kind of tells you how she became kind of a ball of slime, or like having hair like slime, or just being slime, not human anymore, but having still a form of human, if that makes sense. So the reason why she has a button eye is because her eye actually dissolved while she was becoming slime. So that's why she only has one eye left. But yeah, my favorite part about drawing the manga is the story making and seeing it come together and come to life, from like the story that I wrote, and kind of imagining these things into like somewhat like movie scenes and whatnot. Because when I'm looking at a manga, when I'm reading a manga, in my head I'm making the images move, and so it's kind of like a movie playing out, or like a show. I used to love to read comics. Comics. I used to love to read comics a lot. My favorite character that I made from this story is, I'd probably say Aoi, because I really like Aoi's personality. Aoi's really strong and very smart. But yeah, I'm continuing the story with a fresh start, I'd say. Not necessarily like starting all over again, but definitely with a lot of things that I learned throughout these few months or a year. I remember starting out, and it was definitely like a struggle with deciding what my art style would be like, because I do really like to give my art style a lot of details, but it ends up being really messy, and obviously it can't be repeated like you would in a manga. So I think I really had to kind of channel that a little bit and make things more simple. Like everyday regular moments in the story, it has a creepy, unsettling, another when something tragic happens in more detail and like more realistic. Thank you. Okay, I kind of get it. I kind of get what you're saying. I think I've seen this before in a manga. It's definitely not odd, and I think it definitely could work, especially in horror mangas or like kind of tragedy and slice of life, I guess. Those are really good. I watched this anime. This anime was about takopi. Have you guys ever heard of takopi? I don't know if you guys heard of takopi. It's like a pink octopus and looks like this. Kind of like this. Can't really draw takopi really well, but yeah, it kind of looks like this and they're pink. And they're like from Happy Land or like a happy world. Basically, they have happy magical objects like this like time machine camera, um, which was stained with blood. I'm not gonna tell you guys how it was stained with blood because that that is spoilers. But yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was really sad. I'm not gonna lie. It was so sad. But I think Taco P is one of those like things that you were talking about where it would be normal, but then in tragic moments it'd be really dark. If you read their manga, I did see some copies of it and some like snippets of it. It was like that basically. Me too. I watched it all. It was really good. It was actually really good. Even though it was really sad. I found it really beautiful. It was definitely really it captured a lot of the feelings that I think would feel like to be in that situation, if that makes sense. Yeah, that I definitely think that's a good idea. I might watch it again as well, but yeah. That is super good. Takapi is so cute. I like the fact that Takapi was innocent, but then not so innocent, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain Takapi. Sometimes I get really frustrated at Taco P for not understanding something. I'm not gonna lie. Um, since Taco P is like an alien creature, right? And he just doesn't understand how human works, or especially like a complex situation, like having not really a happy life and happy family and being hit and stuff like that and bullied. So Taco P didn't understand any of that. That was really frustrating to me at some point. I'm like, Taco P, can you please just shut up? Or like, Taco P, why don't you understand? But then again, I'm like, okay. It's an alien creature. What do you want? Right? So I think it had a lot of emotions that made me just kind of realize some things, I guess. Because I feel like Taco P is like a newborn baby, like a newborn child. That's how they probably think, in a way. I really like perspective stories. The stories that have perspective, basically. Silent Voice has perspective in a way, because Silent Voice has like a bully, like the perspective of the bully and the perspective of the victim of the bully. And I think, having those perspectives are really nice and really refreshing. Seeing that in stories. I thought the art style in Taco P was really cute too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the innocence, exactly. I was really disgusted at that too. I was just really disgusted at a lot of things that happened to them, those kids in general. Um, it was really heartbreaking to see. Yeah, but Other than that, though, I think other classics that were pretty good. I will never stop mentioning Miyazaki because Ghibli Studios is just so cool, so amazing. Like, it never gets old. It really never does. Um, Someone got me into Dragon Ball, and I thought that was really cool. Dragon Ball is really cool, actually. Like, the storyline's, like, really innocent, I'd say, but definitely motivates you in a way to accept that things are not easy. Like, things are just gonna keep hitting you, coming at you in life. And it kind of motivates you to face them. So it's like the opposite of you know, really sad stuff. I don't think I'd ever read Goodnight Poon Poon. Goodnight Poon Poon is probably the most traumatizing manga there is. I don't think I'm ever going to read that. What else? I have Junji Ito mangas, and I'm pretty convinced that they're cursed. Because I think I was reading one, or like just bench reading them one week, and I think some bad things started to happen. Like, it started getting hurt a lot. Hitting my toe, just really wild stuff. Maybe that's just me, but I believe those books are quite scary. Like, something's taking like some bad aura with them or something. I mean, I wouldn't really recommend reading them. I really wouldn't recommend reading them, but they do have, like, I'd say perhaps like read them as you're kind of seeing how they capture um those moments, I'd say, like their art style and whatnot, but I don't think like getting into them was the best idea. I don't think I've ever got a copy of a Demon Slayer manga. I think Demon Slayer's art style is actually really pretty. I like how they draw the face expressions in their faces as well. I wouldn't say Demon Slayer is the most traumatizing because Demon Slayer is mostly like battle wise kind of anime. It's like an action anime. Psychological. Psychological. I don't know. Some psychological stuff is just the anime psychological stuff is pretty messed up. Yeah. Yeah, Demon Slayer was something that I watched during the epidemic, like COVID, during COVID, basically. And I bench watched Demon Slayer.
Did they come out with a movie?
Yeah, they came out with a movie. The movie just came out. It's where they are about to fight in the palace, basically. I really want to watch that movie, actually.
So that's the conclusion.
No, the conclusion is they have to fight the main boss of the demon clan.
And that's season 5.
Probably around there. Probably around after the movie. Pandemic, yeah. Pandemic.
You know what we gotta do? You gotta put all your stuff together. We'll take it down there to the
convention?
The anime office down there. It's right here in the neighborhood. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
You gotta put together your portfolio so you can tell.
Yeah. Okay.
You got nothing to lose.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't either. It just came out. I think it's in the movie theaters. But yeah, I'm excited for that one because I've been waiting for them to, to fight in the palace because that's where things get heated up. There's like 3 demons, I think, and then there's like a few, like the whole Demon Slayer clan, Demon Slayer group, basically, and I'm really excited to see that. It all comes down to that, seriously. And I never seen Tanjiro so angry before when they saw I think Muzan, is that what they're called? Muzan? I forgot. I just call them Michael Jackson. Because the Demon Slayer boss looks like Michael Jackson. Yeah. He has like a hat and curly hair and everything.
Wait. What year did Michael Jackson die? He died before you were born, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, Michael Jackson. They look a lot like Michael Jackson. I mean, everyone was making memes about that character being like Michael Jackson. Yeah, looking like Michael Jackson. It was really odd. I mean, not really odd, but I mean, I'd get it. But before the movie came out, I think the last episode, also spoiler alert if you don't want to listen to this part, if you haven't watched the full season, I'm just gonna be spoiling what happens at the end of the last season, that is. So Michael Jackson, I'm just gonna call them that, Michael Jackson, they were greeting the boss of the Demon Slayer clan because the boss of the Demon Slayer clan was dying. They have a disease. They're dead. They're dying. They die very young, actually. I don't know why. That's kind of like a curse for the Demon Slayers, the Hashiras or something like that, and that's sad. And then basically greeting them, and then at the end he explodes his family along with his children and along with the hope to explode Michael Jackson. But little do they know, Michael Jackson, even though, you know, it took some time for them to regenerate their body, sadly, it did not work as planned. Yeah. You've gotten spoilers. So wait, so did I spoil or not? Because if I did, warning, I warned you. But yeah. I think they spoiled it a lot. I think after that episode, a lot of people made edits and stuff, and it just kind of landed on everyone's For You page, or like to the people who watch Demon Slayer, basically. So, sorry if you got spoiled. Yeah, I think like I'd be really pissed though if I get spoiled like way ahead. I got spoiled something and I was so angry. I was so angry. I'm like, dang it, why did you say that? I wasn't asking for that. I'm not gonna say it here, obviously. I can't express what I heard because obviously I don't want to spoil anymore. Do not want to share the frustration. Hello. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Speaking is very interesting. Also, yes, I do recognize. So I do recognize you. So thank you so much for supporting. I have not been live streaming lately, if you were wondering. So today we're live streaming. Me drawing my manga. We're continuing my manga. My manga is psychological horror and I'd say weirdcore. I was really inspired by weirdcore when I was 13. That was around when weirdcore was somewhat almost at its peak. It's before its peak in a way, just like a little bit before its peak. And so I was really inspired by it. I'm not gonna lie. I remember used to listening to playlists and just drawing the story and like writing the story basically and then trying to draw it. Yeah, manga drawing. I'm going to be continuing it on Webtoons. I'm going to be posting on Webtoons. Yeah, Jack Stauber. Yeah. Is that how you pronounce their name? Stauber? Yeah. Tea Time. Or like Tea Party? Tea Time? I think Tea Time is the song. And then Spoiled Milk. And what else? What else? There was another one that I really liked. I forgot the name of it though. I haven't been listening to them, but yeah, their songs are super cool, like weirdcore-y. Like I'd say every playlist in like a weirdcore playlist. Yeah, Two Time was really good. Two Time was super good. If you don't know Jack Stauber, they're actually a psychopath or like a sociopath, not a psychopath, a sociopath, I think. Yeah, that one's also really good. Yeah. And basically they're a sociopath and they have a very interesting way of expressing words in their songs, lyrics. If you listen to their songs to you, it'd be like, whoa, what the heck is this? But it does sound really interesting, kind of gives you like another perspective of things, I'd say. So yeah. It was so sad. I think that I'm like pretty glad that they found an outlet to create, I'd say. So, you know, because sometimes we really can't choose what happens to us or what we're born with. So I'm really happy that they have their outlet. Okay, this line keeps wanting to push out of the format. Yeah, very interesting and unique, indeed. Okay, finally, there we go. Yeah, Two Time is really good. I like how they mix sounds together. It's very unique, for sure. Other things that are unique, if you're trying to find like unique sounds or like music in general, sounds just feel like you're about to like start looking through the house and start knocking on different things and finding different sounds. I mean, you could do that if you're into music, but what I mean by that is if you want to find like different artists and like playlists and whatnot, I think Imigium, the artist that made Headlock. I really can't pronounce her name. I just know it ends with a heap. Yeah, Baby Hotline is one of the songs. Yes, I understand. I know that song. But yeah, and then there is, I forgot this artist as well, but they make the soundtrack for Enna. If you guys never heard of Enna before, I can definitely 100% recommend it if you're looking for like inspiration, especially if you've never heard of them before. Enna is one of those kind of like game. They have a game. They literally do have a game, but they have like this kind of gamey art style. Like retro game art style, sort of. And I thought that was super cool. And I was like, really cool. I have their game. Their game is called um Barbecue, I think. Dream Barbecue, Dream BBQ, basically. And the game was really cool. I really like the atmosphere. Really, really do like the atmosphere. Enna is super cool. Enna is one of the first few entities or like first few things that got me into weirdcore as well. Just like diving into weirdcore. Those are the first few things that I kind of got in touch with. It was disturbing and fun to watch. I didn't look at the documentary for Jack Stauber. I didn't know that there was a documentary. But I guess, yeah, I don't know. I kind of stay away from disturbing things once in a while, since it gets me kind of thinking about very disturbing things. Could have never guessed. Yes, Enna. Yeah, Enna's super cool. Enna is like basically talking about, yeah, like on YouTube. It's talking about the internet raising you and not understanding who you are. Because you were raised by the internet, which I could relate to a lot. I grew up really being on the internet quite a lot, or like watching internet stuff. Addicted to disturbing things. I'd say some disturbing things was some criminal cases or like crime cases. Like, okay, things are gonna get really graphic, but there was this case that definitely 100% traumatized me. Was a girl getting stuffed in a Hello Kitty plushie. Oh, yeah, that one was scary. A lady, just yeah. I can let you go and search that up on your own, but if you don't like disturbing things, sorry that I said that, and definitely don't search that up because that's scary. That's like that story traumatized me. That's some scary stuff. And yes, it is real. It is not like a show or anything like that. It's real. Yeah. Really scary things. Yeah. And then there's the cannibalism, I think. The cannibalists, like from Japan. They passed away, but they got out of jail at one point. I think a lot of people heard of that one though. Yeah, a lot of disturbing things. But yeah, it's been a bit, it's been a while, but we're almost finished with the line art. Finally. So as you can see here, always like a little bit annoyed. In this scene, basically always being defensive because this is a new character that they just meet. It ended on the last scene, basically meeting her and she's trying to help. But she's like really defensive and has like a little bit of trust issue here because it's a new character and obviously we don't know what their intentions are. This is Leah. She's a nurse and we don't know what her intentions are. And so she's like really defensive and not trying to let Yuki kind of go with her. But she is kind of like in a way kind of mocking her and saying, I don't know what you're so afraid about. You know, it's all right. And yeah, because she's been here longer than them both, or like in an area longer than them both, especially in an area that she's most comfortable and like has been living there basically for a long time. So she's kind of like mocking her. So Aoi was not so happy about that. Okay. I really can't wait to draw the sceneries or like the scenes in the next few pages because it will reveal what Leah is actually really about and what her intentions are. And you guys can just tell me if you saw this kind of character like Leah, if you would trust them. You want to learn psychology so you can make your characters better. I think watching psychology shows or like anime really helps a lot. I like the show on Netflix called Black Mirror because that show has like a lot of psychology stuff, although it's like really disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely won't recommend it for everyone. And things in there can be quite graphic, so I also wouldn't recommend that if you're like sensitive to graphic stuff. It's definitely not for kids. Not for kids. Okay. Right now we can just kind of check a little bit here. Alright, just to check all the details here, okay. And then we can combine them together. And then what we're gonna do here is erase the excess lines that get out of the format. Alright. I think I should do like some details over here. But, you know, that's the eraser. There we go. Alright. After that, we're going to be getting rid of the background, and voila, that is going to be the line art. Doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. But now we're going to be coloring it in a bit. Hello, thank you so much for stopping by again. It is somewhat about disturbing things, but I'd say I also want to add like hope at the end, I'd say. Because psychological horror, I think it teaches people experiences and what to do about them, or like kind of how to deal with them or how other people deal with them. So I kind of think sometimes you can learn from it. Yes, I have heard of it. That I've seen a playthrough of that, that was so sad. It was just tragedy. I did not learn an ounce of hope from that game. It just ended spiraling down to the depths of despair, and whew, definitely, yeah, that one was sad. It was sad, disturbing, and frustrating in a way. It is. It is most likely about disturbing things, but you know, I like to add hope, at least just like an ounce of it, or like something that the viewers can learn from in a way, kind of like Taco P, if you would say. Taco P was really cute. I like how it ended. So I have some color palettes here. So these color palettes I have gotten from way back before. I have saved them over here, and I'm going to be using them. Each of these color palette is a character, and so I wouldn't be confused or like, trying to hand color pick the colors of my previous pages. And yeah, here we go. It's just much easier. Yeah, that game was really detailed though. That game was quite detailed. Do you like to do manga or full art? I'd say probably full art more, full illustration, I'd say. But I think lately I haven't been the most into full illustration. So I want to go back and do manga again. Actually, I do kind of want to use like a more easier way to do this, but it's not going to be that easy. So I'm going to try to see if I can do this much faster. All right. I think this is like one of those things that you're really grateful for in digital art piece, like while drawing digitally. I know it seems like, you're kind of like cheating in art, but it just really fastens the process and makes you kind of less drained. But then again, I think I still recommend doing it the traditional way to do a full illustration. Yeah, those are really satisfying to draw, because you don't have to do it over and over and over again. Like draw a character over and over again is what I mean. Yeah, I think for me, I like both, but it really depends on what I have in the mood for, especially of how things are going and what I learned, basically. So it really goes both ways. Okay, then we can do. illustrations take hours, I'd say. Illustration one at least takes me like a whole day to at least finish if I'm in a hurry, but yeah, illustration definitely takes me a lot, especially if I'm really inspired by something or like I add a lot of things. Should I do a webtoon comic? I definitely say you can give it a try, especially if you enjoy drawing comics slash manga art pieces, because I think that it'd be something you'd like if you do like it. That platform is quite nice. I've seen quite a few artists kind of like just really have fun with it, and they got quite a nice amount of people appreciating their art. So yeah, definitely 100%. You can make like a couple stories and kind of test it out. Okay, then go under here. I definitely recommend doing research on different communities where you can branch out your story, because that's what I've been doing lately as well, instead of just kind of looking on webtoons for a community. I want to look on other platforms as well, so I recommend doing that too. And posting on Instagram is nice, but don't be too disappointed if it doesn't get to a lot of people, because Instagram is quite of a frustrating platform for me personally. You don't really like putting frames and things for comics. Well, I get that. I get that. But it's just easier to read for most people. Yeah. Don't like putting frames. I understand that. It just makes things easier to read. Cuz most of the time, like, then again, it's kind of like a movie scene, but just all in one page. That's why it has like in the the line art, the format, the frame, basically. Yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily like reading webtoons. Well, most of the webtoon story are kind of like rom-coms or like romantic genres. I don't like it because to me it's just like really it's not something I really enjoy going into, especially if it's just really, you get really nothing healthy out of it, if that makes sense. You don't get any, like, to me, I don't think I get anything out of it. Like, you just see these really beautiful, I guess, characters, and that's it. That's to me, that's it. And just some like lines, storylines, and to me, I don't really like that. I don't like that at all. But I did find some really cool horror stuff on there though. Some really disturbing horror, like somewhat disturbing, but like the characters are quite disturbing. Um, Comics on there though, which I thought was really interesting. Slice of life. Slice of life is something that is hit or miss for me, but I do appreciate a pretty good slice of life. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna color in the teeth. So I'm kind of just going under layer, if you guys can tell, and I know the background is like dark. Don't worry, this is not going to be the background. The final background is only because the colors are light, like lighter. So that is why I have a darker background so I can see. That looks a little bit odd. There we go. I watched a little bit of Dun Dun. I think that's what the anime is called. Dun Dun. It's something along those lines. I don't really like it. I don't really like it. It's very, I don't like it. I don't think I really like it. I like the characters. I just don't really like the things that they say. Like, it seems really cool, but then again, it's very unserious, if that makes sense. And I feel like in some specific scenes, to me, I like it to be epic and serious, especially in those moments. But to me, like, it's not really as serious. So it kind of gets a little bit annoying, but that's just me personally. I tried to get into it. I did. I tried. Okay. Now we're going to color in the hair. When I started out this comic, and if I look back, I just sometimes I'd be like, oh my gosh, what is this horrendous scene of an art piece? But, you know, it just really shows that I feel like continuing that idea that you had that is considered creative and just keep continuing that idea that you had with the skills that you now have, which you spent time learning and leveling up yourself up to, and then using that to continuing the ideas you had. It's going to be a really, really strong thing, I'd say. It's an anime you have to take lightheartedly. Yeah, I suppose. But I just I'm like, and his name is Dan to Dan. Dan to Dan? Yeah. Dan to Dan. Yeah, it's a very light-hearted anime, I guess, but it's not innocent. I'm just gonna say that much. Like, I got flashed. I don't like getting flashed. I don't like getting flashed in animes. Please spare my eyes, please. Thank you so much. But I guess that's most anime nowadays. But yeah, but that's just one of the things I did not appreciate. It's like, what, the first few episodes? I'm like, whoa. And the aliens, they just seem so perverted. I'm like, hey, chill out. You need to chill out. And like the alien saying I like females more in general is just crazy. It's just crazy to me. But yeah. Yeah, I could tell that it was not like for children. Hopefully no children uh watches that. Just gonna say that it's definitely not a PG anime. Yeah. Um Other than that though, I'm really looking forward to Demon Slayer being the Demon Slayer movie being on Netflix because I'm gonna really enjoy that. Takopi's original sin. Wait, weren't we talking about Takopi? Wait, I did watch Takopi though. Wait, let me see. Takopi. Yeah, I did watch that. Takopi's original sin. That one was disturbing, but it wasn't like, yeah. Oh, the summer Hikaru died. Oh, yeah, no, I don't want to watch that. I watched a few. I watched like a little bit of that. And I'm like, no, I don't have. Oh, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Wait, don't have audio, so I've been talking this whole time? Oh, you're talking about that scene. The summer Hikaru died. They did have a scene. They did have a scene. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. Well, the entire anime as a whole. Do you mean like Hikaru? Or like which one are you talking about? Takopi or the summer Hikaru died? Because the summer Hikaru died, I'm flashing the rainbow flag. Something is going on here. They are probably I don't know. Yeah, wait, what exactly? I'm so confused. What are we talking about? What does that even mean? What does TSHDRYT? What does that even mean? So confused. In my head, I'm just like having all these animes combined together. I was talking about Dan Dan. Oh, you're talking about that scene. Yeah, that scene. Okay, let's talk about Dan Dan and then let's jump to the summer Hikaru died because the summer Hikaru died is also pretty disturbing. Okay, so yes, that scene in Dan Dan in the first few episodes was crazy to me. It was crazy to me. It was just like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? This is too much. I'm like, dude. I was just like, my face was like, uh, uh-uh, uh-uh, uh-uh. What is this? What am I watching? But then there is the summer Hikaru died, which was traumatizing, or not really traumatizing, but kind of scary. I'm not gonna lie. Especially the lady in the woods, kind of just starting to swing her long neck, and her hair just started swinging, and then started running towards the character, and I was like, that was scary. That image is now forever embedded in my head, which is I'm not so grateful for. Yeah, that was a bit scary. Yeah, that scene was scary. And then there was another scene that was very weird. I'll just say that. It was really things were getting intense. And I was so uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable watching that, and I decided, yeah, this is not the anime for me. I was so uncomfortable watching that. I was like, what? Okay, what is this? What am I watching now? Yeah, it just, I find myself questioning life after watching some of those scenes. I'm like, what the heck is this? I haven't watched The Summer Hikaru Died. Okay, it's kind of like psychological horror, kind of, but it's like has, I'd say, ghosts ghost entities, ghost-like entities. It's kind of like spiritual cursed in a way, spiritually cursed kind of thing. Kind of a psychological horror. I really do think that they really captured anxiety and just the way they capture like very scary things really well. They had these, the editing was really good. The editing was super good. What's your favorite anime? I like the anime called, wait, Magical Girl Site. Magical Girl Site was a pretty good anime, I'm not gonna lie. And then what else? Demon Slayer is definitely one of them because it was super good. It's something that I started off with. Yeah, Magical Girl Site, I'd say. That one was super good. Uh, Actually, I don't know if it's Magical Girl Site. I think there was another one. I need to really reboot my memory a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Let me just check one thing 1 second. Alright, I got it. Wow. I think I used like a lot of very similar color palettes back then, and I'm kind of getting confused a little bit, and I think I should have thought about that because as you can see, I'm using like a lot of greens and a lot of like a lot of similar colors and whatnot, and so yeah, it's really confusing. And also, hello. And you like them all? Hello, hello, yeah. 5 anime, 5 animes. I watch anime that much. Yeah, I watch. I watch at least I'd say a few already. I think Solo Leveling was okay. Yeah, anime is definitely something that if you're into it, you're into it, and you're gonna be bench watching it all. But if you don't like it, you're not gonna want to bench watch anything. I wanted a Chinese movie. You watched a Chinese movie recently? Legend of Hi. I don't think I've really watched Chinese movies. I do speak Chinese though. I do speak Mandarin, so I can understand. I thought, you know, Big Fish was a really good Chinese anime movie. If you guys ever watched that before, it's literally called Big Fish. It's like a big red dolphin fish thingy. The story was really nice. I really liked the story. The story was quite beautiful, and the art was very beautiful as well. Second person you met? That's weird. What does that mean? Second person you met, and that's weird. Yeah, I think a lot of animes nowadays is quite clickbaity, I'd say. That knows Mandarin. Oh, yeah. I think people do have like they like to learn Mandarin a lot. I think Mandarin is pretty popular. But yeah. Chainsaw Man, and then what? There's what? I didn't really finish watching Chainsaw Man. I didn't really get into it. Um, then what else? Spy X Family was okay. It was cute. but I kind of got out to like kind of lose interest. Oh, okay. There is this anime that is one of my favorite actually. It's Made in the Abyss. Made in the Abyss is disturbing. It is uh, kind of like psychological horror in a way, but it's beautiful. It was so beautiful. It has like a very beautiful story. It has like a meaningful story in a way, and it was like just amazing. So if you guys have never watched that before, definitely recommend you can go watch that. That was so beautiful. That really gave me a spike of inspiration. Promise Neverland, just watched the first season. It's hella disturbing, but it's really good, and the second season drops off. I watched 2 seasons, like first one and second one of those actually. I finished watching Promise Neverland actually, so I mean, honorable mention, Promise Neverland. Yes, Made in the Abyss is super good. Super, super good. But it's so disturbing. It's very disturbing. You're gonna be watching like kids getting tortured. Yeah, I'm not saying that if you watch that you enjoy watching kids getting tortured, but it just has that scene and it's not the best. It's graphic. It's pretty gruesome. But yeah, Promise Neverland was also gruesome, but it doesn't like show necessarily like the scenes, but it was quite dark. I liked how it ended, but I think the second season was definitely less it felt just really stupid at some point, kind of. Some things they did were kind of stupid. Like, I don't know why they kind of fought in between and started this whole... I don't know, I just don't know how to feel about it. It's just really confusing to me of how they did things. I'm not gonna do spoilers if you guys haven't watched it, but yeah, Promise Neverland season 2 was definitely a bit questionable. Yeah, less quality. That's true. They rushed a little bit on season 2. They rushed. Season 1 was beautiful. I really liked that whole vibe of season 1 of Promise Neverland. So the next show that I'm about to talk about isn't an anime. I think it does have an anime, but I watched the live action one instead of the anime. It's called Promised... No, it's not called Promised Neverland. It's called Wonderland? Like... It's something something Wonderland. I forgot. Dang it. There's so many shows. It's something called Wonderland. I'm searching it up right now. The Girl from the Other Side is good. I never watched that one before. But anyway, forget it. I'll tell you guys the next time. The Girl from the Other Side is good. I love the art style. I never heard of that one. I don't think. But I like the art style from Blue. Like, I forgot the name of it. Okay, yeah. I really do need to do like a big recap. There's like a green spot right there. I want to erase that. No, it's not there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is it here? Oh, gosh. It is. Okay. Right color. Seems similar. Yeah, the green spot. Don't worry, it's taken care with. They are eliminated. It's dead. Well, there is like a little bit more, but we can just. No one will notice. No one will. Oh, that's not the same color. Okay, there we go. No one will note this. No one will note this. Unless they replay this video. Then they would know. Okay, back to coloring. Oh, that's not the pen that I want to. Okay, there we go. And this color. But yeah, I watched quite a couple of animes these past few years, ever since Demon Slayer came out. Just kind of going on a journey of watching different animes. I think the actually first ever anime-like thing that I've ever watched was Ghibli Studio. Basically. Ghibli Studio was super good. Ghibli movies. Alright. I feel like the leaves should be this color. Not sure though. Alright. Let me kind of see the color reference here. Okay, yeah, they look very similar. I think I'm gonna do this. Yeah, lately in my free time, I usually like to doodle or kind of sketch in my sketchbook. Sometimes I like to sketch like scenes or like intense scenes or like some sort of very short storyboards, and then practice face expressions on the characters that I randomly thought about, or like characters that I know that I made before. Okay, I think it's easier to kind of color in mandatory annually instead of filling in the colors because there's so many lines here. Add a spaceship. Just a little one. Needs more spaceships. Okay. I'll add a little spaceship, but I can't add any spaceships anywhere though. This is a manga panel. If a spaceship just appears, it's just gonna be really odd. But what can I do? Just a little one. Okay, okay. I'll add like a tiny one, like on over here. Welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, I'll like add like a tiny, tiny spaceship. Hide it. Okay, I'll hide it. Where should I hide it? Alright, I'll hide it over here. I got it. Alright. I know it's not the most hidden. Maybe I can like make it like even smaller. It's so pixelated. It's so pixelated. Alright. Tiny little spaceship. So you'd be reading and then you'd be like, what the heck is that? It's so cute. Yeah, I gave it like a little hamster face, I think. Little tiny hamster face. Alright. Then we're gonna draw the clothes. I think it's time to make the background like a little bit more lighter now since I'm using darker colors now. So let's make things like a little bit lighter. Whoa. My eyes was getting comfortable with the dark background. It's kind of like having that same thing that happens when you're like looking at something in the dark for too long and then you turn on the lights and it's just like you're blind instantly. Gonna color this kind of manually. Oh. 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 Okay. Perhaps not color it manually. It doesn't really get all the spots that I want though. It kind of leaves like little spaces, which I really don't understand, but it's fine. I think it's just like the computer telling me, I don't know what the heck you're trying to do, but you're gonna have to do this by yourself. There we go. Because since it is like, you know, you're gonna be seeing it like that, you can't really zoom in onto the art piece. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. So I won't be really more focused on like the very small details, but I will zoom out and see if you can see it. One moment. Hello. So how would you describe your manga's point, and what is it about in one sentence? In one sentence. Hmm. The calmness in chaos, I'd say. The calmness in chaos. That sentence itself is very confusing. So as you can tell, it's not going to be a pretty simplistic manga. It's going to be quite confusing. It's going to be quite complex. All right, I'm gonna do this over here. But yeah, so I'm going to. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, that's the one sentence I wanted to say. Also, I do need to head out. I need to go. I need to go now. But I usually stream on Saturdays and Sundays. I know today isn't Saturday or Sunday, but I usually stream on Saturdays and Sunday. I've been kind of getting off streak because I've been taking a break from social media. I post shorts a lot, and I just think when you post a lot on social media, you kind of care more about what people like, about your like art pieces and whatnot. And so you kind of want to do what they like more in order to get more likes and subscribers, and just like you want to have more people to see your art pieces. That's why we end up doing that. But that's why I like to take breaks from social media and YouTube and posting a lot alone and have fun with art again. And I think a good way to do that I concluded, is to redraw my old ideas. And I want to start my manga again. So thank you all, if you guys are still here. Thank you all so much for staying this whole time and chatting, and also kind of hearing about my take on what we watch nowadays, like the animes that people watch nowadays. So thank you so much, and again. And if you want to check out, then again, my webtoons down below, Yuki's Endless Void, definitely go do that, because that is what I'm drawing today. This whole time I've been drawing a new page of Yuki's Endless Void, and as you can see, it takes a lot of time to draw just a single page. So if you don't mind, go check it out and support, because it does take a lot of time. And thank you then again, and I will see you next time. Bye.